Hi guys, welcome back to Destiny Ignition, where I will be continuing today from where I left off last time. I talked about the power of vision and effective planning. Today won't be long, but I will just complete all the principles of how you can effectively plan for the vision that you may be able to accomplish. I will go into facts and a few principles and points that could help you in this conversation and topic today. Please feel free to subscribe, share, and like this YouTube channel as we can be able to help more other people out there. So I want you to think about what we talked about last time. I talked about 5 critical points when it comes to effective planning and vision, and some of them I'll touch again, and I will just go straight through to where I left off from last video. The first one was, in order for you to have effective planning and clear vision, you must be directed firstly by a vivid, clear vision, which is simply that particular image you have in mind, or the end goal, the why, the reason why you want to accomplish that thing, the cause or the main purpose, the main picture that you see in your head. You can't go anywhere, you can't define exactly what that vision is. And vision is a future. It is actually the picture of the future being painted in your mind, and it's so obsessive, it's deep in your heart. It's the what and the why of existence. When you can see it in your mind and begin to imagine it, that is vision. And so the second point was, you got to know your potential. And when we talk about potential, we're talking about unused energy. A lot of people have potential that they don't use because they're always thinking about what they don't have. And so I won't elaborate so much on potential today. But one of the things that I will highlight is, you'll never be effective or successful until you truly understand your potential. And I want you to know that every successful person in life has understood their potential. Your potential is determined by the assignment God gave you. God as a creator has given all of us potential, and that potential plays a huge role in our progress and our development as humans. And the third point was, you got to have a concrete plan. Planning means the ability to sit down and be able to navigate where you're starting from and where you're heading. I'm just going over the points I've touched last time. I'm not going to dwell on them. The fourth one was, you got to have passion. Passion is so vital when it comes to being able to do great things in this world, or also to endure and to continue, because passion is just like fuel, is an energy, is a drive that keeps you going. And the fifth point was, you got to develop faith. You got to have that belief, that drive that makes you not give up, that ability to see the end in the beginning, that ability that sees the end at the beginning, that ability that sees and says that even though I may not be where I am, I'm going somewhere. Faith is the ability to see problems as opportunities. In this world, a lot of people see problems, but a few people see opportunities, because those who see problems are those who have not wired their brain to actually understand that every problem that exists is actually an opportunity for you to come up with a solution. To the businessman, he capitalizes it and he creates a product or a service, and the consumer will buy it. But the consumer doesn't understand that the reason why the businessman has become successful is because of them, because they had a problem, and the business-minded person comes up with a solution and strategize on how they can capitalize that. So remember that, faith sees the problem as an opportunity. And so change your mindset from seeing problems to seeing just opportunities that are arising in your life. I know it's not easy, because you got to develop a pattern of thinking. And so I'll leave it there, and then I'll go into where I left off, the sixth point. So we're going to go on to understand the process of vision. You see, every vision has a process and time. When you receive a vision, at most time, you may not be ready for it, but it's just something that you visualize in your mind that possesses you. Something that makes you want to make a difference, or you want to change the world, or you want to do something that you feel like you can contribute or bring impact to the society we live in. I'm going to come from a perspective of spirituality, so those who are listening to me, speaking more from a spiritual perspective of how vision is done. A good example I will use is, when you look at characters, for example, like David in the Bible, he was given a vision at a young age, at the age of 17, that one day he would become a king, right? He was chosen by the prophet, and he knew that in his heart he could do this, but it took 17 years. And the reason why it takes long sometimes is you must learn how to be prepared. You must trust the process. The process is the journey that you are equipped and you are being prepared and groomed for that vision you may have. The reason why it takes time is because there are two things that process will do to every individual. And sometimes it's not a matter of just passively sitting down and waiting, but it's more of, in life you can't just go to the end. It's not how it works. It's all about little steps that adds up to bigger things. So as I'm talking, I want you to understand that I'm not advocating the idea of you doing nothing, but you have to do the little things. But sometimes people want to rush, and certain things are not ready for them. And so there are two things that happen when you are in the process of being prepared, or the process of preparation for your vision. The first thing is character. You got to understand that in life, no matter what you are trying to achieve or what your vision is, character is very important. And the word character, I want to define it for you guys to understand what it means. It means statue. It comes from the Greek word statue. So in other words, the Greek, when they think about character, they're not thinking about a good person or a person that is or is consistent with their words and their deeds, as much as that's how we translate it in the English language. But to the Greek mind, character is a statue. And when you talk about statue, you are looking at something that is unmovable. So for example, the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is unmovable. It will remain there forever and ever until something just breaks it down. And what that implies is character is consistency. It's consistency beyond the test of time and the trials of life. When the rain comes, the storm comes, or the snow comes, or the heat comes, the Statue of Liberty will remain in the same position it has always remained, according to the way the engineers have structured it. So when we talk about character, what we want to understand is consistency, the ability to endure, the ability to be firm and the same without external influence or internal influence. Even though you can influence yourself, but character is consistency, endurance, the ability to maintain focus. And the second thing is the purpose of process, as I mentioned, does two things: character, and you become responsible. You see, the problem with the world today, or the problem with many people, is they all have great ideas, but they don't understand that in order for you to achieve these great things, there are a lot of ingredients that you need along the way. And I've just touched two things that I want to highlight in this point, but these are not the only two things. There are more things that you can even think of. So what are some of the things that you believe that you need as you prepare yourself for that big dream, that big vision you have in mind, so that when you reach that stage, it doesn't destroy you, but in fact you are able to handle the temptation, the pressure, and also make the right decision and remain the same person you were. Because what happens is, as you become more influential and you achieve more great things in life, temptations increases. The idea of power polluting your mind and just losing it is very high. That temptation is very high. So responsibility, what am I referring to here? Responsibility is basically the ability to be able to manage things consistently faithful. I'll give an example. You see, a lot of people want a lot of money. Let me just say, that's why people play lotto and they gamble. You see, the problem with this is, if you have not managed the little money right, what will happen is your issues of mismanagement will just be magnified or amplified. And so if you have a problem with managing $10 because you're always misusing that $10, if you got $1 million, you just mismanage it more because you don't know the basic principles. So it's not about how much you have, it's not about the quantity, it's about learning how to handle the little things. That's what responsibility is all about, and maximizing them at the little state they may be in, and learning how to capitalize that as a mindset rather than just the fact that, oh, it's just $1, $2. And as much as I am talking about small numbers here, I'm using them as an example to make a point here that responsibility has to do with managing things. If you can't manage things, then you won't have an increase. And even if you do have an increase or you get more things, you will just lose them. For example, if you can't manage your rental property, why do you expect to buy a house? How can you even buy a house when your rental history will be so poor? If you can't even manage a car that costs you $2,000, how can you manage a car how will you even get the money to pay for a car that is 50,000 or even 100,000? So you got to shift your mentality and become more responsible in order for you to become someone who can fulfill their vision. So the sixth point is you got to understand the process of how you grow and you mature, because maturity is part of this journey. You can't just wake up thinking you're going to conquer the world and you don't have a good character. And when I'm talking about a good character, I'm not talking about your behavior modification. I'm talking about ingredients that you may need in that particular area that your vision is in. And you can't just be naive and think that it's all about wishful thinking or the fact that you have a great vision. It involves a lot. And so I'm going to go straight to the seventh point. The seventh point is you got to set priorities. You see, the reason why priorities are important is because our decisions are based on our priorities. If you don't have priorities, you will just invest your energy on the wrong things that may not even be relevant into your life. So what does priorities mean? Priorities is the ability to know what you should be involved in, you should invest your energy in, when you should say no, and when you should pull back, and when you should go, and when you should not go, where you should go, who you should hang out with, and what you should focus on. Because energy is very limited. Your energy cannot be invested in everything. You can only be much more effective if you invest your energy in one particular thing and achieve much more results. So as I'm going on in this, I want to make a point that priority is the key to effective decision making. Yes and no are the most powerful words you'll always say, because if you always say yes, then one day you'll get yourself into trouble. Maybe you'll say yes to an expectation that you cannot meet. Maybe you'll say no to an opportunity that is the greatest. So it's about balance, and you got to always understand, how do you make the right decision between good versus the best. Always maintain your energy and focus for what is best, not what is just average. It's easy to choose good from bad, but people struggle to choose good from the best. You know why that is? Because people always try to be comfortable and go for the average. Choosing is saying less to opportunities. For example, you know, one of the things that is so important is being able to balance your energy. As I'm going back again to priority, I want to emphasize that balancing your energy will help you focus, because focus is very vital, right? And I want to look at a point here that I've written down. You got to ask yourself, what are you using your energy on? Am I investing my money, resources, time? Because a lot of people, right, they invest a lot of their time on things that are not even in alignment with where they are going. Imagine that. Like somebody says they want to be a professional athlete. They spend 5 hours to 10 hours a week eating junk food. They don't even train even 5 or 4 or 3 times a week in the gym or even do cardio. Now imagine this. How is that practical, right? You're investing your energy and your money on the wrong thing, and your vision is on a different direction. So you got to understand that priorities are connected to energy, because if you don't invest your energy on the right thing, then whatever your vision is going to remain as just mere words. They have no power, no impact. So number 7, which was the 7th point that I've highlighted, is you got to set priorities. And I'm going to go down to number 8. You got to recognize people influence on your vision. Because in life, you have to understand you'll become like those whom you associate with. If you associate with good people, and when I'm talking about good people, I'm talking about those who uplift you, those who will encourage you to achieve more in life. Because you can't do it all on your own. You need the effective support of a team, mentors, good friends. As I mentioned before, you become like those whom you associate with. Because in other words, people have the potential to create your environment. Your environment determines your mindset, and your mindset determines your future. So if you do not have the right environment, which could composed of many things, such as where you hang out, people you hang out with, what you spend time looking at, what you read, what your hobbies are, all these things have dimensions of what I'm talking about when I'm referring to environment. It could be mental, it could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be environmental. So all these factors are important to understand when it comes to recognizing influence. Don't sacrifice your dreams because of fear of conflict or disagreement. In other words, whether you have a vision and that vision requires for you to have people involved in it, be able to be firm on where you stand and know that the vision is solely yours. You have that vision and you know what you want to accomplish with it. Limit association and spend more time with positive people. Limit negative association. Limit that, because if you hang around with wrong people constantly, then you'll be dragged back. But invest time with people that are positive. And I'm going to go to number 9. You know, when you believe in God and you trust in God, one of the things that you have to understand is God has given you everything you already need, and when you trust Him, He will provide for you. So number 9 is about provision. Always trust God to give you the things you need, not just only when you need them, but always know that He has given them to you already, whether it's resources. Sometimes you just got to dig a little bit deeper and look within you and be creative and think. Or sometimes God has put people around you, or sometimes you just got to find ways to move and progress. And I'm going to go straight to number 10. Number 10 is you got to be persistent. Persistent simply means consistency and perseverance. The 10th principle, which I'm highlighting here, is we must be persistent if we are going to achieve the vision that we have. Persistent people never take no for an answer when it comes to their vision. Even when obstacle comes, they continually move forward because they know that things that are good, they don't come easy. There's no resistance if you are moving forward. People who aren't going nowhere have nothing to worry about. You know, sometimes in life, people who are not progressing, they will just sit down and just watch those who are trying and make fun of those who are trying. But if you are trying, at least you're trying and you're going somewhere, and one day you look back and you see how far you've come and you become a better version of yourself. And as I'm sharing this video, I want you to step out there and be able to go out and go after your vision. Number 11 is be patient in fulfilling vision. Patience is established through testing. You know, I can only speak more from the business world because that's the world I come from, and also I've done other work before. But one of the challenging things in business is progressively moving forward while you're patient, because life doesn't always go according to plan. Therefore, you have to learn how to be patient. So when things are not going according to plan, you have to adjust and always look at different ways you can accomplish that particular thing you want to achieve instead of giving up. So patience is so important. Patience is also bringing peace in the midst of your mind, in the midst of uncertainty. Patience is overcoming adversity. So you got to be patient. You know, those who are patient can inherit great things, and those who are patient are the one who will accomplish and achieve great things in life, because they will wait and move as the right opportunities arise. I'm not saying that patience is easy, guys. I'm just encouraging you to be patient. And I'm going to go straight to my last point. You've got to stay connected. You've got to stay connected to God. You know, as I mentioned earlier on, that in this world we live in, we have different beliefs. But for me, I believe God gives people the vision that they all carry. It doesn't matter whether you are ending up in a business world or in whatever you do, whatever that's in your heart, God gives you that gift. And it is your responsibility to stay connected to Him. And staying connected to God is to always remain humble and to maintain a position where you know that without Him, you can't go anywhere. So guys, I want to encourage you to share this video, subscribe, like, share it, and remember these, right? That all these principles that I've shared with you, I want you to know that they are here to encourage you to basically move towards the vision that is in your heart. And please feel free, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please drop them in the comments, and just if you have any topics that you would like me to touch along the line, also let me know. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for your time. Enjoy.